60 OFWs, then that number will be reduced by 60. But rest assured, yung balanse po niyan, ongoing po ang repatriation effort natin, Mr. Senator.
Mr. Chair, I am not getting the right answer here. Napakasimple po ng tanong ko. Out of 1,416, 4 days ago, ilan ang na-repatriate? Yun lang po kasimple. Ito po ang test natin eh. Itong mga taong ito ang nagre-request dahil alam nila merong danger sa buhay nila. So nag-request po sila. Ang sabi po ng Secretary ng ASEC, this is a country team response. Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Dito po sa briefing ninyo, 1,416 po yung nagre-request ng repatriation. Do you confirm the figure, Secretary Hans? Pareho ba kayo ng...
As of March.
Yes po, we confirm the figure and it is a live count, Mr. Senator, meaning it could increase any given time. Yes po. And of course, it
that's
could
important.
also, it's OFW count lang po yun, sorry Mr. Senator. OFW count po yun, meaning hindi po kasali dyan yung non-OFWs seeking repatriation.
O nga, ito muna, 1,416 as of March 2. Pareho po kayo ng...
Our
That's
presentation.
the
Okay.
And I think it's combined at that
It's not
time.
yet updated.
Okay po.
Nag-agree kayo dito sa data?
Yes po, yes po. On a per...
So March 2 pa po ito, March 4 na tayo ngayon. What happens? Ilan po yung na-repatriate natin?
Sa ngayon po, it's around a little, around 2,000 at this stage, Mr. Senator. Pero,
Hindi,
again,
sinasabi ko 1,416 ito eh, March 2.
March 2.
March 4 na tayo ngayon,
March 6.
ang March 6, 4 days. Ilan po dito yung na-repatriate natin? Yun lang po yung tanong.
Senator, yan po yung requests for repatriation. So it's around, the number would be around in the area of 2,000, let's say, at this stage, Mr.
So
Senator.
lahat ng ito nakabalik na?
Hindi po, hindi po. Requests for repatriation pa ho yan.
Hindi po,
Meaning-
ganito yan eh.
bilang-
Let's use this as the test of the response of the government. As of March 2, nagre-request po ng repatriation ito. All of them feels the potential danger to their life. Tama? So kailangan
Yes.
nating aktuan to. 1,460. After 4 days, ang tinatanong lang po ng komite,
Yes.
ilan po ang na-repatriate?
Sa ngayon po, still undergoing po tayo ng repatriation stage.
So wala pa pong na-repatriate after 4 days.
Meron pong mailan-ilan, kabilang po sila doon sa
Sabihin
mga
po natin
nanungbalik.
kung ilan. 1,416. Let's be specific. Ito po ang test natin eh. Itong mga taong ito ang nagre-request dahil alam nila merong danger sa buhay nila. So nag-request po sila. Ang sabi po ng Secretary ng ASEC, this is a country team response.
Yes. Sa ngayon po, Mr. Senator, with the two Emirates flights that brought in around 60 OFWs, then that number will be reduced by 60. But rest assured, yung balanse po niyan, ongoing po ang repatriation effort natin, Mr. Senator.
Mr. Chair, I am not getting the right answer here. Napakasimple po ng tanong ko. Out of 1,416, 4 days ago, ilan ang na-repatriate? Yun lang po kasimple.
Yes, ang sinasabi ko po, Mr. Senator, we will subtract the 60 that had returned from the two Emirates flights for the last 2 days. So 1,400 less. It's around 1,300 remaining still, Mr. Senator.
That is how we reply to the potential dangers.
Mr. Senator, as I mentioned po at the outset of our presentation, the current repatriation effort still ongoing. There are at least six fronts.
Mr. Secretary, ang sinasabi natin, this is not yet the worst scenario. March 2, nagbigay na sila, nagpapagibik na sila, napapasaklolo na sila. This is one country team approach, sabi ni ASEC. Out of 1,416, 60 ang na-repatriate natin. This is not the kind of response.
Mr. Senator, ang hinihingi lang ho namin ay konti pang panahon dahil
Hindi,
currently
naiintindihan ko po yun.
we are
Naiintindihan ko po
undertaking
yun.
the repatriation effort. We're crossing them over by land.
Secretary,
Sarado po.
what I am presenting is a one-country approach. Hindi po tayo dapat mag-away-away dito. I am using this as a test kung gaano po ang level of response natin today. Kaya gusto nating hanapin yun. Wala pa po yung worst case scenario. Ang sinasabi natin kanina, paano kung magkaroon ng worst case scenario? For example, naging hindi na 1,416, naging 14,000 na kagad. So para lang ma-determine natin kung gaano ka-adept ang level of response natin. Yun lang ang punto rito. Okay.
Bago mo sagutin, may interject Senator Marcoleta. Secretary Gagdak and ASEC Tago, saan ho tayo nahihirapan? Because tama po, yung tanong po, malinaw, 1,400 plus, pero out of that, 60 pa lamang po. Bakit po tayo nahihirapan? Bakit hindi po natin maiuwi, mai-repatriate, maialis yung 1,400 na yan at madala sa safe na lugar? I think that's the question na Senator Marcoleta is asking. Saan po kayo nahihirapan? Bakit kayo nahihirapan? Bakit tayo nahihirapan at hindi natin maialis, mailagay sa safe na lugar yung 1,400 na yan?
Yes.
Secretary
Sa ngayon
Gagdak.
po kasi sarado ang airspace sa lahat ng bansa na covered ng requests for repatriation. Kaya't ang options po natin is land crossing. Kaya yun po ang isasagawa natin. Ang ating pong sinasagawa ngayon is to ensure that when we transport them by land, ito po ay safe. Ang element of risk is low. Kaya hindi po ganun kasimple, marami po tayong tao, kaya yung volumes that we intend to transport will have to ensure na ang land route is safe. By and large, the land route will take around 2 to 3 hours travel when you're speaking of the land route out of UAE, for instance, or the land route out of Israel. But we are imploring the patience of the honorable senators because this is currently being worked out, and once we hit our stride in terms of the land crossings, then we will facilitate the volumes that are necessary to be repatriated. Pero yun po ang main difficulty, Mr. Chair. We are basically limited by the fact that air transport is severely curtailed gawa ng pagsara ng airspace.
Kahit na po hindi nyo hingin yung pasensya namin, hindi po kami rito ang problema. Ang response natin, the level of response is only 4%. Nagpapagibik po sila, napapasaklolo, natatakot po sila. Yun po yung dapat nating makita. Hindi ko po kayo sinisisi. Ang sinasabi ko lang, gawa tayo ng paraan kung paano yung takot po nila ay maibsan kaga as soon as possible. Wala po kaming sinisisi dito. Tinitingnan lang po namin yung akmang response ng gobyerno because sabi ni ASEC, at tama naman yun, this is a one-country team response. It doesn't seem to be that way. Kasi nga, 4 days, 4% po yung ating output. Secretary, yun lang gusto ko sabihin. Okay.
Taken, Mr. Senator. I completely understand where you're coming from. We also have our marching orders from the President, and we will get the job done, Mr. Senator. And tama po kayo, ang sagot namin ay dapat bukod sa inyo ay mismo sa ating mahal na OFWs.
Thank you.
We are just opening the avenues, the tracks, the pathways to repatriation, and so we will get the job done. We will do precisely that, Mr. Senator.
Thank you for your assurance, Secretary. Mr. Chair, madidisrupt talaga yung supply ng langis natin doon sa pagkakasara ng Iran ng Strait of Hormuz. So, ang nakikita ko po rito, dapat meron ng nag-usap na yung at least 5 departamento na dapat ay tumutok dito. Halimbawa, yung DOE, yung DA, DTI, DOLE, DepEd, sapagkat maapektuhan hindi lang ang industry natin, agriculture, manufacturing, pati yung manggagawa natin. Sino po kaya ang pwedeng magsalita sa isa o kung meron na pong nakapag-usap na po itong 5 departamento na dapat sana ay magbigay sa amin ng ilang impormasyon kung paano magre-react po ang importanteng departamento sa impact po ng kawalan ng langis in the days to come. Sino po ba ang meron po ba talaga na nakapag-usap na?
Siguro, Senator Marcoleta, DOE, o kung hindi, ito pong Executive Director natin ng Foreign Trade Service. Kaya,
Ang akin po kasing expectation, Mr. Chair, dahil one country team approach, palagi sanang ganun, hindi yung isa-isang magsasalita dito, hindi ko naman makonect-connect kung paano ngayon magkakatulungan itong mga, halimbawa, yung siguro pinaka-chairman dito, yung DepDep, siya kasi yung planning. Sa yung economic planning and development, pagkatapos kukunin niya yung input ng DTI, ng DOE, at saka ng DA, DOLE, para sa ganun, isa lang ang magsasalita. Ito po yung approach natin. Ganito po ang gagawin natin.
Mr. Chair,
Kung isa-isa po baka...
hindi po kami ang central department on that matter, but I can attest that in the cabinet, this president took this up extensively with the relevant departments.
Hindi naman kita sinali rito
hindi,
Ito lamang muna kasi marami ka ng gawain seconds. Punong-puno ka na.
Senator Marcoleta, with your indulgence, I think Executive Director Benedicto?
Sir.
Can you answer that? Mukhang tumataas po kayo ng kamay.
Magandang umaga po, Senators. Si Secretary Go po nung Monday, nagpatawag po siya ng meeting. Although I don't have visibility po at my level kung ano po yung nangyari sa meeting. But I know that he called for a meeting already with the economic team. And also may mga succeeding po meeting with, as mentioned by Secretary Han, sa Malacanang level po. So, but we'll give you updates po later on regarding po ano po yung mga coordination na nangyari. But DTI po is also very closely monitoring the situation po.
Kasi po ang in-expect namin, nag-usap na kayo on your own Para madali. Ito po hindi... Madalian po kasi ito So, kung sasabihin nyo sa amin na nag-meeting po yung nagpatawag ng meeting, hindi po yun ang gusto naming marinig. Pasensya na po kayo, no? Ang impact po kasi nito kalat Yung industry, agriculture, yung workers, DOE, paano ba natin? Ganun po yung gusto namin. Anyway, sana po mabilis na maibigay ninyo para... Hindi po yung isa-isa. Mahirap pong i-connect yun. Hindi naman po kami masyadong mabilis umunawa na pagdugtungin namin. Mas madali po kasi kung united na po yung approach, mas madali po naming maintindihan yun. Isang tanong na lang, Chair, ano?
Go ahead, Senator.
Yung pong Yusek Echanova,
Yes, Your Honor, sir.
may tanong po sa inyo kanina. Ang sabi po ninyo, wala pa naman kayong naririnig na ulat na medyo may potential na danger po sa... Naghihintay po ba tayo ng ulat sa labas o kailangan po tayo tayo nang gumagawa ng ulat?
Sir, yung mga report po kasi, sir, ini-evaluate po natin yan, sir. And we are determining kung very significant po or hindi. Kasi
Yun nga po, but
we
if
don't
you are
want to
dependent
unduly...
on outside sources,
Yes, sir.
doon lang kayo gagalaw pag mayroong...
Hindi naman po, sir. We are taking the precautions, sir. What I'm trying to say, sir, is pag mga significant na po talaga yung mga balita natin, of course, we have certain protocols for certain things, sir.
Ganito po
As far
kasi,
as operational details, sir, I am not at liberty to divulge the operational details.
No.
But,
We're not asking you operational details. Ganito po yan Nakita po natin na nag-rest back ang Iran. Pinagbibiran niya yung mga karatig bansa na kung saan ay nakikita nilang merong mga bases ang Amerika, di ba? Karaniwan naman ganun Kasi po dito merong EDCA sa atin. Na hindi mo niya nakikita yung potential noon sapagkat palagi nating sinasabi, the military bases, tayo po ang, we remain full control, management, and ownership of this. Pero kung titingnan po ninyo sa Article 3 ng EDCA, malinaw naman po doon, more specifically, under paragraphs 3 and 4, doon po sinasabi natin that the parties agree that the Philippines shall make agreed locations available to the United States forces. In paragraph 4, sinasabi, the Philippines hereby grants the United States operational control of these agreed locations. Iran might understand this as something that is potentially harmful to them also. Kung halimbawa ganun pagkakaintindi niya, hindi niyo ba tiningnan ito? Were you able to explain to Iran, wag po ninyong iintindihin na ganun. Baka pati po kami isama ninyo dyan sa kung ano man ang pinag-uusapan ninyong, kung hindi ninyo pinagkaunawan, wag niyo po kami isasali dahil ganito. Naintindihan kaya ng Iran? Kasi po baka pasabihin niyang ganito eh. Yun po yung gusto ko namin sabihin kasi may potential danger talaga. Tapos sasabihin nyo sa amin wala naman po kaming... yung iniisip ng Iran, hindi nyo naiisip.
Sir, iba po kasi yung question kanina ni
Hindi pala.
Honorable
Pabayaan mo na yung
Pangilinan,
question
sir.
kanina. Sinabi ko lang yun
Yes, sir.
dahil may premise lang.
May I respond, sir? Sir, in the first, ang EDCA site po, sir, ay hindi po siya American bases.
Hindi nga niya naiintindihan
Yes, sir.
ng gano'n. Ikaw naman.
These are Philippine bases po, sir.
Yes.
So in terms of the nature of bases probably in the Middle East and the Philippines, sir, magkaiba po yun, sir. Kasi yung base po sa Middle East, sir, there are semi-permanent or permanent American bases, sir. So nandun po yung mga supply depots nila, may deployment po ng personnel. Marami pong personnel ng US doon. Dito po sa atin, wala po, sir. Kasi ang EDCA sites po natin, sir, are Philippine bases that are only made available to them if we allow them. Ganun po yun, sir.
Tayong
And
dalawa.
right now, sir, if I may finish.
Tayong
sir.
dalawa nagkakaintindihan tayo dyan. Ang sinatanong ko sa'yo, naiintindihan kaya ng Iran yan?
Well, I cannot answer for
O
you,
yun.
sir. Hindi ko-
Kaya nga, dapat medyo mayroong potential danger. Yun ang gusto sana na makita din ninyo. Hindi na natin alam kung anong gusto nilang gawin ngayon eh. Kailangan nakahanda tayo sa lahat. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Marcoleta. Before I turn over the floor to Senator Gatchalian for his line of questioning, matanong ko lamang po ang DFA. Tama po yung tanong ni Senator Marcoleta. Nakipag-ugnayan na po ba kayo sa Embahada ng Iran para maipaliwanag po ito? Lalo pat kayo po sa DFA na naipaliwanag nyo na ba na ito po ay hindi base militar ng Amerika, ito po ay sa amin. Ito po ay patungkol po sa ika nga ay humanitarian facility po ito. Ito po ay sa amin, ito po ay training facility po. Did you have that encounter or ika nga abiso sa Iran po? Kasi, or para may parating din po nila sa kanilang mga kaalyado, baka tayo po ay mapasok po dyan sa south, sa bandang south po natin. Diyan po minsan pumapasok po sa backdoor yung mga Islamist group po. At baka makisawsaw po din sa issue na ito. Have you tried or are there any efforts on your part, DFA, to talk to Iran and explain na neutral po kami, bagamat kaibigan po namin Amerika, Israel po, pero wala po kaming kinalaman dyan, wala po silang US bases dito. Itong EDCA po, ito po isang training at humanitarian facility. Wala po kami mga tinatago na mga bomba dyan, etc., etc. Meron po bang effort ganon ang DFA? Yes, ASEC Jermina.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Last November 11, we had a political consultation with Iran. This is prior to the happening now, but it was after the June 2025 incident between Israel and Iran. So during that political consultation, the military establishments here were mentioned, and we explained that these are not U.S. bases. And we maintain good relationship with Iran. In fact, we have just sent a letter of condolences for the death of the Ayatollah. We're trying to separate this, Your Honor, from the war and from the bilateral relations of the Philippines and Iran. So we maintain good relationship, and we were able to say that during the political consultation. But I will take note of this, Your Honor, and confer with our office in the DFA that handles the bases.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ASEC. Siguro may suggestion lang, may katanungan po ako sa Department of Defense natin. Is it possible po ba itong mga like Iran one of these days or even China, sir? Ipasyal ho natin dyan sa EDCA para ipakita. Wala ho kami tinatago dito. Training facility lamang po ito. Humanitarian facility po ito. Pag may mga bagyo, dito namin i-imbak. Maglalanding aeroplano po nila ng mga ikang C-130 nila. Pero wala pong ikang armament dito. Wala po sila mga tangke de Gyera dito. Purely po ito training facility at humanitarian facility lamang po namin. Meron po ba kayong plano gano'n na ipasyal nyo po sila para open? Wala ho kami tinatago. Para in the near future, ay wala akong masabi yung baka magkaroon tayo ng regional conflict. Di po ba? Matapos po ito. Meron tayong problema sa West Philippine Sea. Baka alam nyo na ho, yung pinupunto ko. Meron ba kayong naiisip na gano'n, na imbitahan sila kahit papano na, tingnan nyo, open kami. Wala na kami tinatago dito sa EDCA na ito.
Sir, it will all depend on the basis of the visit, sir. Because right now, if we have defense cooperation agreements with countries like Australia, sir, yung mga allies natin, sir, then they are free to visit the EDCA sites upon our invitation. But in certain cases, sir, there are certain processes and protocols, sir, that we really need to establish, sir, in order to make sure that we don't go beyond what is being authorized by our government in terms of visits to facilities which are we consider the secure facilities, sir. Ganun po, sir. Gagawa po tayo ng mga SOPs or protocols kasi Iran po, sir, wala po tayong defense cooperation agreement with Iran, sir. So honestly, sir, I don't know how to handle this one, sir. Kasi ang nangyayari lang po ngayon, sir, ang pumapasok lang po dyan or ini-invite are those countries in which we have defense cooperation agreement, sir.
Okay, malinaw po yun. With the indulgence of Senator Gatchalan, ASEC Jermina, pahabol lamang po na may nabanggit po kayong 4 to 8 weeks na war or 2 months of war. Ano po ang potential effect nga po nito at ready po ba tayo to address this issue? Pag tumagal nga po talaga ito, umabot to sa 1 buwan o 2 buwan, what are we going to do?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ang nakikita po nating effect dito ay first yung OFW po kasi we have 2.4 million in the region. Second is the economic effect which will be handled by a separate group other than the Department of Foreign Affairs. And then the third one would be, of course, not only the oil, but the prices of commodities that will increase because of the delivery services and other equipments that are coming from the Gulf. We knew that for a fact that the Strait of Hormuz is closed now, and there is 20% of oil supply passes through that strait. So may impact po yun, sir. So sa amin po sa DFA, mabanggit ko lang po, sir, yung sa Iran. I just want to put it on record that there is no request from the Iranian embassy to visit any of these facilities. But if there will be any, we will duly coordinate it with the agency concerned. So sa amin po, sir, sa DFA, binabantayan po namin yung ating OFW at ang maaaring maging epekto nito sa presyo natin dito sa bansa at yung kanilang remittances po. Salamat po.
Salamat po, ASEC Jermina. Mamaya po sa second round po ay magtatanong po na po ako sa Department of Energy, ganun din po sa Department of Labor. Pag nagsiuwian po ito mga kabayan, ganun din po sa ating PNP at AFP kung ongoing po ba ang inyong pong mga surveillance, pakikinig po on the ground kung ano ho mangyayari. Just to be ready. Senator Wing, you may have the floor now, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Chairman, I'll start off with some basic numbers. Kanina nasabi ko sa conflict areas, meron tayong 15,400 OFWs. Tama ba ho itong numbers, Secretary Kakdak? Is this the same numbers that actually galing ito sa inyo? These are the number of OFWs in what we call land-based lang to, land-based DFA crisis alert areas. Or in other words, ilan po ang OFWs na nasa loob ng DFA crisis alert areas?
Mr. Chair, with your indulgence, baka po the DFA could respond to that query.
In our records is 50, dito po sa numbers na actually galing sa Department of Migrant Workers, 15,000. Tama po ba? And ang countries covered is Jordan, Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Kurdistan, State of Israel. Tama po ba?
It could be.
Land-based, these are only land-based.
That is 41,000 already.
And then my next question is, ilan ang OFWs na nasa conflict areas in the entire Middle East? So iba po yung sa DFA crisis alert kasi yun yung mga may areas na mayroon alert, meron tayong alert declaration. Iba naman po yung buong Middle East na potentially kumalat doon. Go ahead, Asek Tago, if you have the numbers.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I think these numbers are from the numbers we had submitted and shown earlier in our presentation, which is based on the report to Congress, the latest submission. And we included all countries and territories that that may be involved or may be covered, which all of them right now had one way or another had been subject of some strike. I think that's this presentation that we have, where we have Israel at 31,000, Iran at 800, although Iran's number includes the Iran at 800, although, and these are combined all categories for OFWs, non-OFWs, as in tourists and non-workers as well. Saudi Arabia at 813,000.
So ano po yung total? What is the total number? Kasi the mention, yung 15,000 is OFW land-based to. No? So, but I want to get first the universe. Ilan ba ho ang how many OFWs are we talking about that are affected by the conflict?
Mr. Senator, it would, by our count, it would be around 89,000 with Jordan, Filipinos, not just OFWs, with Jordan and Israel having the most number.
89,000 po.
89.
OFWs or these are Filipinos?
Filipinos po, to total those covered by the DFA alert levels. This is by our count. It's a manual count at this stage. We didn't have the totals ready, but totaling the figures of Filipinos, it's around 89,000, and that includes, as mentioned by Yusek Tago, the 800, for instance, in Iran, who would be mostly Filipinos, Filipinas married to Iranian nationals.
And these are, this 89,000, how many of these are OFWs?
Ilan po ang OFWs dito? Kasi in order to reach budget, you need to first know the universe. Diba? That's why I'm asking. Kasi kung magre-request tayo ng budget, dapat alam natin kung gaano kalaki yung areas at ilang tao po ang sakop.
Okay, these.
It appears to be around 69,000.
69,000 OFWs out
Yes,
of the
yes,
89.
yes. Covering those under alert levels, the countries under. This means, kaya po medyo relatively maliit, wala po dyan yung the big ones, Saudi, UAE, where there are no alert levels at
Yes,
the
yes,
moment.
correct. So it's 69,000 ang OFWs. But ang total Filipinos is 89. Tama? Ilan po ang kasama na ba ho dito sa 89 yung mga undocumented Filipino undocumented migrant workers?
Yes, Mr. Chair, although admittedly, they are estimates. It's hard to
Yes, of course.
put an exact number on the undocumented.
Kasi yung we requested numbers from the Foreign Service Institute. Ang bigay ho sa amin is 93,000, both documented and undocumented, of which 39,000 is undocumented. Is that, andito ba ho ang Foreign Service Institute? Are they here? But they're under DFA, diba? No, tama po ba ang estimate ng undocumented is 39,000? This is only for the yung may alert level, crisis alert level countries.
Okay.
Just
Mr.
go
Chair.
ahead, Yusek. Asek.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think the reference here to be is Israel, Iran, Jordan. It's under alert level 1, Iraq 3, Lebanon also 3, Syria alert level 4, and Yemen. And these countries have been under alert level for a long time. A lot of them. In the DFA does not, however, separate documented and undocumented, because in times of crisis we just lump them together, since we would have to extend assistance to all of them. So we don't separate them.
So how
anymore.
many are undocumented? Ilan ang undocumented natin?
Ang
Based on
karamihan-
your estimates.
Around 30-40,000. Kasi
30-40,000.
karamihan Yes, sir.
And that's my next question. Anong treatment natin sa undocumented? I heard earlier that of course, the Department of Migrant Workers, ang kanilang binibigyan ng focus ang mga OFWs natin, and these are documented OFWs. Itong 30 to 40,000 na undocumented natin, they're also Filipinos. No? Mga kababayan rin natin yan. Although undocumented sila, pumasok sila doon ng ang kanilang mga dokumento ay hindi tama, pero ganun rin, nasa peligro rin sila. How do we treat them, DFA? Kasama rin ba sila sa mga repatriation activities natin? If they signified to be repatriated, pwede ba silang mag-reach out sa, of course, sa ating embassy and eventually to the Department of Migrant Workers?
If I may respond, Mr. Chair, the law that created the DMW, coming from this August body, also has mandated us to cover even the undocumented. Kaya po, because of the DMW, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator, there is absolutely no need these days to ask about whether one is documented or undocumented. As far as the DMW is concerned, we serve all OFWs po.
So in other words, if kung tama po yung aking numero, 93,000, more or less siguro nasa ganyan, 93,000 both documented and undocumented. Kanina nasabi nyo is about 89,000, so more or less nasa ganun siguro naglalaro yung numero sa, ito are just the crisis alert countries.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would tend to hesitate to respond. If it comes from the FSI, then perhaps they have a basis for it. However, Mr. Chair, I'm also worried or hesitant to say yes, because the host country also has something to say about the undocumented within their own territory or jurisdiction. So I would also
give some level of determination with respect to how the host country computes the number of undocumented in their territory.
Kaya ko tinatanong dahil kung sasama ho natin, worst case scenario, and I agree with Senator Pangilinan, wala na siya, but we have to run scenarios no? And in the worst case scenario, doon sa alert conflict areas or crisis alert areas na meron 93,000, ang kakailangan natin kung i-repatriate lahat is 13 billion pesos.
Okay, I see your point, Mr. Senator. In that context, then yes, I will go with your figures because it makes us
I'm thinking
determine
of the worst kasi
kung sino ang opo.
I've been listening earlier, magpa-file ng supplemental budget.
Yes
Ito
po,
rin
yes
yung mga
po.
hihingiin later.
Yes
on.
po, yes
Diba?
po. Yes po, Mr. Senator. Yes, we have to know the terrain. We have to know the people whom we will expect to cover. So yes, I would accept the figure, Mr. Senator.
Asek Tago, you were raising your hands.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, the FSI numbers are usually provided by our office, my office, the DFA, Office for Migration Affairs, or Office of the Undersecretary for Migration Affairs. And these are based on the report to Congress. We just rounded off the numbers in the table. And
I think it will just
Yes, sir.
vary between 89,000 to 93,000. Tama po ba, Asek?
Yes, sir.
Our numbers came from FSI. So because we were also doing some simulations, some analysis kung magkano ba ho talaga kakailanganin later on, if ever, in the worst case scenario. No? My next question is, in the best case scenario, and rinig ko kanina si Secretary Kakdak, that the alternative is to move our OFW sa mga safer areas, no? Sa Oman, sa ibang lugar. Ano ba ho ang protocol sa mga ganitong scenario? Because talaga ho, I agree with you, Secretary Kakdak, sa sheer volume, we're talking about 93,000 Filipinos in the conflict areas. Kanina nasabi nyo na meron 2,000 nag-signify na magre-repatriate. Kung ang isang eroplano, 400 ang capacity, kailangan nyo ng lipang eroplano para ibalik ho lahat yung buo. No? I-charter nyo 5 eroplano na may 400 seating capacity. Talagang logistically, it's a challenge. No? So the next alternative will be to bring them to safer areas. No? Ano ba ho ang protocol doon at meron na ba ho tayong mga movements na dalhin ho yung ating mga kababayan sa mga safer areas in the meantime na nag-aantay ho sila sa repatriation?
Yes, Mr. Senator. Kanina po, tinanong ni Chair Erwin, Senator Erwin, what are the factors that hinder? One is the lack of airspace, but I need to emphasize also the security situation itself is should I say a hindrance or a heavy factor going in, meaning to say we have to consider the situation on the ground, the advice of the host country to hunker down, to stay indoors, the drone attacks and the falling debris out of intercepted drones and missiles are to be avoided, and so ang point ko po dito is safer ground could be relative at this stage. So safer ground, while we want to move them out of the 5 countries that are the subject of current attacks, safer ground could also mean wherever they are, shelter in place, as mentioned by Yusek Tago. So if this is Israel, wherever they may be, where there is a bomb shelter, could be the safe ground, the community shelters as well. Meron din pong in-country evacuations that may happen. So, as I mentioned, we are sheltering a number of OFWs in temporary accommodations. Nabanggit ko po kanina yung malapit sa base at sa embassy ng US na kailangan ilikas, at nasa amin po namin ngayon ang ilang bilang ng mga OFWs na nakatira sa mga malalapit na lugar doon. So that's one response. So it doesn't mean na hindi ho pa namin sila nalabas sa host country ay they are unsafe.
because the host country itself is doing all it can to protect our citizens. The second part of the answer to that question is, yun nga po, we have identified safe havens outside of the host country, and so yan po ang effort na sinasagawa natin yun. Our goal, Mr. Senator, is to bring them home. So yes, it's good to take them into these second country safe havens, but the ultimate country is the third one, which is ours. So mula doon, tama po kayo, i-charter natin sila o i-commercial flight natin sila from these safe havens. Ayoko lang po muna banggitin ngayon for security reasons, but doon po natin sila dadalhin. And then ililipad ho natin sila pa
Secretary,
ulit.
yung 2,000, nasaan ho sila ngayon? Nasa
Sa ngayon po,
nasa safe havens na binabanggit niyo?
Yes, it's a combination of that whom we had sheltered in temporary accommodations, but most of them are still sheltered in place, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senator.
Alright, and then meron ba hong ang mga embassies ho natin, are they in constant monitoring with
Yes.
all of these individuals?
Yes,
Obviously, nag-request sila ng repatriation because they feel na talagang malala na yung sitwasyon.
Yes,
doon sa
that's
area.
right. If you're talking of Dubai, for instance, Mr. Chair, yung labor attaché natin reports to me that they have done the rounds, and in so doing, bibigay sila ng financial assistance, basic needs. Of course, again, considering the security aspect, because we also don't want to be a problem for the host country in terms of security. So bearing that in mind, yes, umiikot po, we monitor, physically or literally, we visit them. So yun po. And then aside from the communications monitoring, by email, by phone, and all the other means to easily communicate with them.
Thank you, Secretary. I'll go to another topic, and this is something that we want to understand. Ito mga crisis level alerts that's being issued by the DFA. No? I understand there's a different crisis level alert from alert level 1 all the way to alert level 4. How are these formulated? Because ito yung nagbibigay information sa ating mga kababayan on how to react and respond. No? At ako, I agree with our chairman na dapat i-Tagalog to dahil so that mas maraming taon makakaintindi, mas maganda ho. No? But how are these formulated? Is this based on international standards? Are these standards based on a certain let's say, United Nations prescribed standards? May mga ganun ba?
Thank you, Your Honor. The DFA would formulate the alert levels based on the reports from post and outside sources. So we have different levels, sir. We have level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, for the GCC countries, you would notice that we have not raised any alert level because we feel this is a very unconventional war, unlike a direct conflict between two countries. So the situation is evolving, and we do not want to restrict our movements and our repatriation because of alert levels. If you will notice, sir, alert level 2 only requires for the Filipinos to stay in their places and shelter in place. There is no provision for repatriation. However, it's happening now. Even in the GCC countries, we are repatriating them because repatriation is only required under alert level 3. So GCC now is alert level 2, but we're doing repatriation because we feel the need for it. The instruction of the President is to take care of the welfare of the Filipinos, and if they feel endangered, we are ready to repatriate.
But are these formulated by which body formulates the different types of alert levels?
Yes, Your Honor. In the DFA, it's the Geographic Office, which I had, Middle East and African Affairs. As early as Saturday, we already made recommendations for alert levels. And this goes through the Undersecretary for Policy, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, and then ultimately to the President. But the instruction of the President came early and said that we will have to repatriate everyone who wants to be repatriated, and you have to render protection and assistance to all. So we felt that if we restrict ourselves to these alert levels, we will not be able to repatriate Filipinos in the GCC, because we do not feel that the GCC right now is under alert level 3. They are still able to protect their nationals, including expats, including Filipinos. So we feel that it's best for our Filipino nationals abroad, especially in the GCC, to be assisted in accordance with their needs and not to follow alert levels. Thank you.
And I understand yung alert level 1 ang pinakamababa, alert level 4 ang pinakamataas.
Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, how come ang Iran, which is the center of the conflict, is alert level 2? How come it's not alert level 3 or alert level 4? One might think that because it's a center of the conflict, mas mataas yung kanyang alert level, meaning we're now informing our fellow Filipinos to already go out of that country or take extreme precautionary measures. But the same level lang siya ng mga ibang bansa na hindi naman masyadong naapektuhan in the Gulf area. So I'm wondering how come Iran, which is the center of the conflict, is only at alert level 2, which is the second to the lowest.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you will notice, Iran, Kurdistan, Israel, and the West Bank are under alert level 2. Most of the Filipinos in Iran are dependents, married to Iranians. And when we asked the Post to survey who wants to be repatriated, most of them wanted to stay with their families. And they said that they feel safe, and they will go to the embassies once they want to be repatriated. But recently, we heard that there are 10 Filipinos who requested for repatriation. So we are repatriating them via Turkey.
Kasi if you go by the definition, ang level 3 issued when unrest escalates significantly or when an external threat becomes imminent. I would assume the external threat is imminent. As we can see on TV, I think nakikita naman natin lahat yung external threat. May dalawang aircraft carriers ang Amerika doon. So the threat is imminent. Level 4, mandatory repatriation fees issued in cases of large-scale civil conflict or full-blown external attack. So in other words, I am in my just plain reading, in my own plain reading, nasa punto na tayo, a threat becomes imminent, an external threat becomes imminent. So how, ang punto ko, the reality on the ground and also the alert level seems to be not in sync, at least in the case of Iran.
ASEC Germina, before you answer that, Senator Erwin, that will be her last question for this round.
Oh, okay.
Then we can go back, we can ask again on the second round. Go ahead, answer that, please, ASEC Germina.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tama po kayo. In fact, there's already a move after this hearing to reconsider the alert levels. Kasi po, ang instruction is for us to not to alarm our citizens. But tama po kayo, sa nangyayari ngayon, lahat po naaalarma naman dahil nakikita nila ang pagbagsak ng bomba. So ang amin pong gagawin ngayon is to reconsider these alert levels. But I assure you, good Senator, that we are already already put the security protocols and all the repatriation and then assistance are already in place. In fact, kung titingnan nyo po yung aming advisories ng mga embassies, alert level 2 po yun. Sa lahat po, including the GCC. At alert level 3 po ang Iran at saka ang Israel. But as I've said, after this meeting, we have to reconsider because things are evolving so fast and ayaw naman naming mahuli kami. Maraming salamat.
Or ayaw natin mahuli ang ating mga kababayan doon.
Opo.
Naintindihan ko na marami ho doon ay may pamilyang Iranian na. Pero meron din tayong mga nagtatrabaho pa doon. Kahit na ho meron silang pamilyang na Iranian na ho, Pilipino pa rin ho sila. At yesterday ho, I watched Mr. Chairman, I watched the press con of Secretary Hegseth of the Department of War ng Amerika. And narinig ko sila that they will be sustaining, first they have total control of the airspace of Iran. No? And also the bordering sea, yung seaside nila. And narinig ko rin na they will be sustaining the military operation via air, no, in the next few weeks. Tama ho kayo, I think ang horizon nila is 4 to 8 weeks sustained air operation. So again, I'm not an expert kagaya ni Asek Ketchenova in terms of military operation, but my common sense is saying na dire-diretso yung pagbobomba ho nila doon. At meron na rin mga tinamaan civilian structures, isang eskwelahan, tinamaan na doon. So my point there is, nahuhuli po yung ating alert level. I think this is a signaling, it's important to signal our kababayans with the right signal at this time. And nung nakita lang ho namin na mababa pa yung alert level, dapat ho, tinaasan na natin so that we signal our kababayans na mag-voluntary repatriation geared towards mandatory repatriation. No? So yun po yung aking punto. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Win. Sa DFA po, paano po ang treatment natin sa mga non-OFWs? Turista, kamag-anak na nandoon, nagbabakasyon lang. Di ba sila covered ng repatriation program po ng pamahalaan or covered din sila? Kasi may lumapit po sa amin, kamag-anak po siya, pero hindi po siya talaga immediate ika nga anak o asawa, nagbakasyon lang po doon, dinalaw po doon po sa Dubai. Paano po ito? How do you go around this or help them?
Mr. Chair, for all the categories na hindi OFW, for example, yung turista, yung pilgrim, ang DFA po ang ready mag-assist dito po. In fact, yun ang in-assist namin sa mga ibang, yung galing Israel. Yung iba, if they can pay for their own, then we help them just with the rebooking. Sa Dubai naman, dumaan po yung ating Consul General sa mga iba-ibang non-OFW. Pinadala niya sa akin yung mga picture na binisita nila sa mga hotel. You can give me the name, Mr. Chair, and I will ipapaabot ko sa ating Consulate General para matugunan nila.
So iba po yung repatriation program ninyo sa DFA, iba rin po sa DMW at OWA. Sa OWA handle sa DMW, OFW, tapos kayo po yung mga turista, pilgrims, etc.
Sir, sa mga ibang lugar, sabay naman po sila, joint naman. Nangyari lang na yung mga ibang turista, mabilis sila nakalabas, yung sa Israel, lumabas through Amman, and yung iba through Egypt. Pero yung we're ready naman kami tumulong. Meron din mga iba, dumiretso na rin agad sa Muscat on their own. Tinutulungan din ng embassy kung gusto nila lumabas on their own.
All right, thank you. Sa Department of Finance naman, Kanina po, sabi po ng DMW at OWA, kailangan po ng supplemental budget para po sa repatriation contingency dahil baka lumala pa po, tumagal pa po ito. How do you determine kung sa savings kukuha o sa contingent fund? At may savings na po ba tayo at this point? March pa lamang po.
That really all depends on DBM. They will be the one to tell us kung magkano pa yung sa contingent fund. And then yung savings is really also up to DBM. We could say, usually yan, pag-abot ng last quarter, then you would know whether there is actually real savings. So, pero yun yung pang-second lang yan. But if you could come up with a supplemental budget, of course, we would provide you with also our inputs and comments on that. Pero right now, we don't have, we're not ready with the inputs on the supplemental budget. We need to see the numbers. Yun.
All right, thank you. Magtungo naman po tayo dito sa Department of Energy, DOE. Ang tanong ko po ay kung itong Gyera ay tatagal pa po hanggang next month, Marso, Abril, Mayo. May mga speculation po ba kayo or forecast na hanggang sa magkano po ang abot ng presyo ng ating petrolyo sa mga yung pump prices po natin? Do you make forecast now or speculate? Hindi speculate kundi forecast. Magkano next month pag tuloy-tuloy ang Gyera? Sa katapusan ng March, ngayong April, magkano kung aabutin po ang Gyera? Do you do that? Meron po ba kayong mga forecast, Department of Energy?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, ang forecast to masyadong tricky for us kasi nga, gaya ng March 1, nung nag-present kami kay Secretary, ang lumalabas dun sa mga analyst, $5 to $10 per barrel lang ang forecast na increase. Pero ngayon, umabot na ho ang diesel around, yung diesel around $25 per barrel. So, I would really, there's a saying, sir, sorry for this saying, pero ito yung sabi kasi sa oil industry, only God knows doon sa sa movement talaga on a daily basis. So, the signal is the one that is the measure, the bar. For example, if pronouncements from the US, for example, would say na kakalma na or control na, yan ho ang pinaka-signal ho talaga na bababa na yung price. Pero yung amount, hindi ho namin masigurado yung amount.
Yung sinasabi po pag umabot ng $80 at hindi po ito po yung galing mismo sa Pangulo po natin na kailangan po niya ng emergency powers. Ano ang tansya ninyo pag umabot po ng... Magkano po ba ngayon ang per barrel, Director Abad?
I'll get the Mr. Chair.
Yung current po.
For example, in gasoline na lang, Mr. Chair, ang gasoline na yun is $106 per barrel ang international price. Diesel is 152. Kerosene would be 201. Way back last week, the gasoline is just 79.
Okay, so sobra na siya sa 80. Nasa 100
Sobra na
plus
po. Ang Dubai
sobra
po
na.
is, the Dubai would be, starting Monday of this week, doon po umabot. Before, ang Dubai nasa 70 lang.
Okay.
Bigla siyang umabot, on Monday of this week, umabot to ng $80 per barrel. And consistently for the past 4 days.
So, kailangan na po sa inyong palagay ng Pangulo yung emergency powers na para ma-control po ito pagsirit ng presyo ng gasolina? Paano? Sa tingin ho ninyo, aabot ba ng mga 200 ito kung umabot po tayo ng Mayo itong Gyera na ito? Kasi sinasabi lang 4 to 8 weeks, sabi po ng tansya po ng DFA, baka umabot po ng $200 na po ito. Abay, sobra na ho ito.
Mr. Chair, ang pinaka-the best to ay tingnan natin yung nangyari nung June 2022. This was the first na nangyari yung atake from among these 3 countries. Ganon din ang na-involve doon. But it took them like 3 to 7 days lang. Kasi US immediately said na enough na yan. So, At that time, sa 7 days na yan. But the conflict really is intensified on 3 days. Umabot ho ang price on June 2022. Ang Dubai was around 113. So ngayon nasa 80 ho tayo, 113 at that time. Ang gasolina umabot sa 148. Ang pump price at that time would be around 83. Sa 150 na gasolina is 83 po siya in pump price. Ang diesel at 175 at that time, nasa 84. Ang kerosene, 164 at that time, nasa 87 ho tayo. So, as of February 27, before the conflict, ang gasolina nasa 54. So, ang diesel nasa 60, ang kerosene was at 84. So, 83 at that time, less 54 before the conflict. So, hindi ho talaga malayo maabot yung 90 kasi this is much worse.
Kailan po ito projection nyo ng 90? Mga anong buwan ho ito kung tuloy-tuloy itong gyera? Bago mag-Abril or pagdating ng April?
Well, by next week, effectively, we will just, kung mag-implement lang staggered, hindi masyado abot kagad. Pero kung one time bagsakan, pwede yung umabot na po.
Ng 90 pesos per liter?
But to be safe, mga above 80 po.
80 per liter?
Yes.
Yung mga gasolina?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright. Epekto po nito, syempre, yung mga gumagamit po ng mga ika nga ng sa electricity po, yung bunker fuel, do we have from the Energy Regulatory Commission? Are we expecting pag tumaas po ng tumaas itong presyo po ng petrolyo, ng langis, maepektuhan po ba ang ating kuryente, ang electricity? Will we experience brownouts?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Based on experience, what happened in 2022 and initial simulations from the market operator, definitely po, meron po yung epekto sa generation charge or sa generation rate. So, maapektuhan po yung presyo din natin ng kuryente.
Maapektuhan.
Opo.
Pero pa-summer po tayo ngayon, April, di ho ba? Diyan talaga yung full load dahil sa init. Mga tao gagamit ng mga aircon, sabay-sabay, ref, electric fan. Hindi ho kaya ano pong assurance sa mga power generating companies po natin na hindi po sila magba-brownout dahil sa sobrang anticipate na natin na tataas po ang presyo ng mga bunker fuel din.